guys, and welcome back to another Top Flight show by RunThrough. I'm Richard Morrell, and joining me on the couches today we have none other than the dynamic duo that is Chris Parr and Stacey Smith. It's been a while, guys. Pleased to have you back. Pleased to see you face to face for once.
No, it's good to see you guys.
Yeah, I've been working on lots of events for RunThrough. We had loads going on in May. So yeah, we had our 3 events in Scotland that we'd mentioned a few times. East Hull, Gateshead, the BMC. So yeah, it was a crazy May for me with 6 events. So
yeah. I'd hate to see your travel expenses fall in mind, because you seem to be like up and down the country. Yeah.
You know what? I've had so many like service station meals in the last month. I'm just like, I don't want to see another service station for as long as possible.
Deficient in so many nutrients.
Yeah. He looks all right for it though, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, them Rustler's burgers. I think there's gains on the biceps, if anything.
Well, yeah, exactly. Well, I have been to the gym today, so thanks for that.
All right, he's got a pump on before I came to this studio. But on that note, like you're saying, loads of events on the go. I don't know about you guys. I find it hard to keep up with the RunThrough. Excuse the athletics-related pun there. But yeah, I do find it hard to keep up with them. One of the ways that I tend to do that, though, is by just jumping on the Instagram, and there seems to be loads and loads of like good content on there. So any of you guys watching today, please give RunThrough a follow on Instagram and also our Top Flight page as well. There's plenty of good content on there. But one thing I did see that that caught my attention was the winner of the Knutsford 10K, Mr. Jake Dearden. So for you guys that are watching the show that maybe don't know who Jake Dearden is, he is a high rocks athlete who is in the Elite 15, so will be competing in the World Championships High Rocks Games. I think he's ranked like 5th in that top 15, which is essentially the top 15 in the world. So, I mean, he's a phenomenal athlete in his own right. I had a quick look at his power 10 the other day. He's dropped like a 2:29 marathon in Berlin. He's a sub 34 10K runner, but he can also lift. He can also bang them wall balls out, sledge pulls the lot. He's an absolute machine. But he
So you ran Knutsford?
He ran Knutsford, and he won it in 33:54. Yeah. So yeah, he had a fantastic run there. He's done loads of like ultras and things like that. So we managed to catch up with him. Our social media manager managed to catch up with him on the day as well. So he got quizzed on Top Flight, because he's obviously heard of Top Flight.
Yeah,
so we're going to run a little clip for you now for what Jake had to say about the Top Flight series.
Have you seen any of our Top Flight series as well?
Yeah,
for Elite.
Oh, honestly, I'd love to get involved with that. But it's so good that you're providing support for these top guys, and you're kind of giving them a platform to show their talents and their abilities, but also prize money as well. Which everyone knows within running there's notoriously no money in running, but now that you are actually rewarding these guys that are the best. And it's cool because you can support them to actually potentially go full time and train, and that makes them better. That makes us get better athletes in the UK. So it all kind of helps. So super kind of grateful that that's happening.
Nice. Was that a Red Bull hat I was wearing? Is he sponsored by Red Bull?
Oh yeah, he's a big deal in the world of high rocks. High rocks is I mean, I've never done anything like that. I would get injured on like the sled pull or something like that, so I wouldn't get there. But it's like you've got to do 8 by 1,000 meters, haven't you? So you've got to be like fit aerobically. You would think like the 800, 1,500 meter retired type guys would have the right build to like have a proper go at something like that.
Yeah.
So do you fancy it?
No.
No team on that we're gonna enter.
You know what? It looks. I'll watch his stuff on his YouTube channel. He's got some like really, really good content. His training, diet, everything, and like the competitions he does as well. And it's great content to watch anyway. But it just looks so hard.
Does it?
Like he's obviously a super talented athlete. That's just an all rounder. Like to be able to run a 2:29 marathon, but then to be able to push a sledge the way that he can, and the wall balls, everything that goes into it. It's like, there's so much to it. But I think it's good that he's recognised what Top Flight's doing, and the main things that he picked up on in that interview is exactly what you've, Chris, have been banging on for years about, you know, incentivizing the sport, driving up the levels within the sport for that like elite road running contingency in the UK. So well done, mate.
We're getting there.
Recognised, isn't it?
Yeah, I think more and more people are obviously recognising it. And I was having a look at the stats earlier. I know we're not looking at the Battersea one today, but we've got the next like road race coming up, Battersea. We've got 250 entries at the minute, and the race is in 3 weeks' time. So when I looked back at the stats from last year, we had, I mean, entries and finishes is different, right? But we had 24 finishes the first time we went to Battersea last April, then 51 last July, and then 140-ish, I think, in this April. And then we're already on 250 entries. That's going to go way over 300. So within the scene, people are noticing it. But yeah, it's obviously great that other people who are engaged in the elite, sub-elite level of sport are taking note and going like, oh yeah, top flight.
Yes.
But even outside the sport, like you wouldn't necessarily say that he is a runner as such. He's a hybrid athlete, and it's already been recognised, but outside of the sport, which is great. Nice.
Yeah. Good work, Chris. Hats off to you, mate. You've done a cracking job with it. So
yeah, we're getting there.
Yeah. No, it's good stuff.
Onwards and upwards.
Onwards and upwards.
Talking a little bit about frustrations, because there's definitely some frustrations there, which Jake has highlighted. Frank Horwell was another guy within athletics that kind of saw some frustrations around the middle distance scene, and he launched a thing called BMC, British Milers Club. So, Chris,
Great.
You know a little bit more about this, yeah?
Great segue. Was that planned? I was thinking Frank Horwell. Where's that coming from?
No, not at all.
Yeah, he was the absolute legend of the BMC, wasn't he? Yeah. So yeah, like obviously BMC back in the British Milers Club back in the day, I think they were involved with trying to get the first sub 4 minute mile.
Were they back in the Bannister?
Yeah, I think that's when it was. I think that's when it was starting. I think, or maybe I'm slightly wrong with that. But you had British Milers Club, with a massive interest in improving the standard of middle distance running, 800 upwards. And yeah, it's great that we're partnering with British Milers Club and Top Flight, specifically in the Northeast. We've mentioned this like a few times, but yeah, bringing track races up a level in the Northeast. So we did a couple of races last year. We did Gateshead and Jarrow. We've had Gateshead this year already. Yeah. We've got Jarrow coming up. We've got Gateshead at the end of August. So really, we're trying to just raise the bar at 800, 1500, and we had the 3K race at Gateshead. Yeah. And yeah, British Milers Club have already got a reputation of basically doing something for the same type of athlete that we're working with. We're trying to do this for road, but they're obviously doing it for the track. And on average, the track athletes are under 23 and below. So us working with BMC to put on some track races here, we're looking at like the next generation who are coming into Top Flight, and Top Flight are the sub-elite who are hopefully going to go on to elite and make the major championships and stuff. So it's like, it's one of the rungs in the ladder that it's being ignored a little bit in the Northeast. Other places around the country obviously get a lot of attention. You've got obviously Trafford, Stretford, Watford have always had like amazing hubs for middle distance where they've got really good, strong competition. You've got your British Milers Club Grand Prix, but then there's other areas of the country which are left behind a little bit. So yeah, we're working with them in the Northeast, putting on some races, making them pacemates, prize money, and yeah, the standard's going up. I mean, last year the races we had in the Northeast were the highest quality middle distance meetings that have happened in my lifetime or memory in the Northeast. So yeah, we just need to keep doing that, and we want athletes to come here to race rather than the Northeast athletes having to always go out the area. The same could be said maybe for Scotland as well. So I can't remember the last time they had the like big Grand Prix. I remember going up there maybe about 2002, 2003 to race the BMC Grand Prix, and they were always the weakest attended. Or I remember going to there was one out in Northern Ireland before, and often when they do move around the country, people aren't as sure that they're going to get a strong field, so they don't turn up, and then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. So what we're trying to do is like cement some of these meetings in the Northeast as like really good quality, keep our local athletes around to race in the area, bring other people to us, and just give give more opportunities.
Yeah, I think it's key what you said there about cementing it, because there's no reason why that we can't have fixtures in the northeast that become the equivalent of what going down to Stretford on a Tuesday night was for us when we were competing. We had to travel down there because we didn't have that up here. There's no reason why it can't get to that. I know obviously we've had a few top flight fixtures already on the track partnered with the BMC. We had our Gateshead meeting, and we've got a little highlight package for you viewers that are dialing in to watch this one. So yeah, a little highlight package of our Gateshead meeting there. There was some real strong performances on the day from the Gateshead meeting, I would say. Any performers that jumped out to you guys? Just give us one off the top of your head that you thought, that really impressed me, or that struck a chord with me, that one.
Yeah, I think Adrian Bales obviously had such a stormer in the 3K. He looked so strong, and let's be honest, the conditions out there were not great. But he looks so strong, and I think he's got so much potential for the rest of the season. So that was one of the standouts for me.
Yeah, so he was paced around by Callum Johnson, who's just gone on to run 13:45 on the track, and he ran 29:10 at the Helensburgh 10K, which is one of the Babcock series that RunThrough are involved with now. So yeah, it's great that Adrian then went on to do some pacemaking, and Callum support on the meetings as well to pacemake. So it's all tying in really with your top athletes. If they're not racing, they're helping out. Another couple of standouts there was Magnus Riddle in the 800, who he won the age graded last year, and this year he's just gone on to run 150. He's the top ranked European under 18 now at 800 meters. Wow. He's very, very good. So these meetings are going to develop those potential champions of the future. Not putting too much pressure on Magnus, but a 15-year-old running 150. He's used our meetings last year and this year already as a stepping stone to catapult him on. And yeah, hopefully he's going to have a great season. And with others, there were some really good performances down the field.
Yeah, there was. I think stretching all the way down to the juniors. I know we mentioned off camera beforehand, there was 2 juniors from North Shields, Polly, Noah and Ada Penfold. I thought they both had really strong runs in their category, and it was good to see that the race fixture itself was stretching through all them age categories. Another one for me was Rafferty Murphin, the winner of the A race. I think he looked like he was in charge. He looked like he was the boss out there, and I thought he put a really strong 2 laps together. I did clock he'd ran 48,400 a couple of weeks ago, so he's got gears. He's definitely one to watch. I mean, there's a few of them that you can pick out from that meeting. You go, he's one to watch for. He's one to watch. Yeah, it's Zach Brannon as well. So, I mean, we could go on. There was a lot of strong performances, so we could go on for hours about which we were impressed with and why. But the producers in the studio probably boot us out after an hour.
I think they got some good prize money as well from it as well. It's that's another thing. Obviously, we're trying to give back to the athletes as much as possible. We know how hard it can be to get any type of money back for performances in athletics. So I believe there was some really good prizes on the day.
Yeah, there was.
Yeah, so we're doing it the same way that we're doing the road race. So you've got like £100 for the win, and then if you run under a certain time, which is set on the top 100 in the UK, then you get bonus money on top of that. So yeah, we're trying to reward winning.
Yeah.
Maybe the weather's not so good or whatever. You get the reward for winning, and then if we get a strong race, we'll pay out.
Yeah.
Like maybe that puts us out of pocket, but it then gets the reputation that the event is good, high quality. Yeah. Then next year more people come to the event.
God, imagine if you extended the range of events. You had like all the way from the hundreds.
We did have the 100 metre.
400. Oh, you did?
Yeah, so
sprints,
in the little highlights video there, you've seen he's called ASAP, the lad from Gates.
Yeah. He's class. He's class on the
ASAP.
He's class on the gram. Yeah.
He's called well, not his actual passport name, but if you follow him on Instagram, the original African, he's really funny.
Talks about the North East, doing interviews. He's done loads down in Hartlepool and Borough and Billingham. He's got a target audience, and he uses the content well, put it that
Right,
way.
we're going to have to follow
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, he's good. So shout out to Gated Harriers there because they put on some really good races. It was good to actually put the hundreds on there.
Yeah.
It was really tight for us to actually make the event happen because it came after our marathon event. So next year, hopefully, we can find like a standalone date. Just with the late Easter this year, there was like nothing else available for us to go for in the Northeast. But yeah, hopefully we can add more events. The sprinters wanted a piece of it and got involved, which was great.
It'd be good, like, just for people that are there watching it as well. Like, you know, I mean, everyone gets a different buzz off different events and things like that when they're watching things on the track. So, I mean, I don't know how it is for you guys, but well, here's one for you. Favorite track or field event.
Oh,
Let's think that one out. Put you on the spot.
I'll go straight in. 800 for me.
800.
It's always been from, I remember watching the Olympics when I was 10, it was Sydney Olympics. And yeah, that's when I thought 800 was just flipping fantastic. So yeah, it's 800. It's a perfect combination of, you need speed, tactical awareness. If you are not switched on, if you switch off for 1 second, it is game over. And I love how the race can change so quickly. The 1500, you've got a little bit more breathing space. So and out of all of the events, for me, it's 800.
What about you?
Yeah, there's always going to be bias, isn't there? I would say, like for me, it's the next one up. It's the 15 because it's also in. You can get a bit more of a blend, so you can have the more aerobic athletes crossing swords with the like 800, 1500 runners. You have your 15, 5K runners like your Ingebrigtsen and your Elga Rouge. There's a little bit more tactical element involved, especially when it gets to championship racing. So, and you can not necessarily make a mistake, but there's a little bit more positional awareness in the 1500, whereas like you said in the 800, actually if you boxed in at the wrong time, that's it, it's over. Whereas the 1500, there's quite a bit of manoeuvring can go on. So yeah, I think when you get to the championship, you can see like the 12 runners in the final, and there's so many different ways that it could play out. Whereas I was, again, biased. I always feel there's slightly less variations in the 800, and you've got more likelihood of somebody like a Marco Arop or a David Rudisha just going out really hard from the start and front running it. You have that tactic works less at 1500 meters because people just sit on you and kick. So it always then makes it into that like tactical race, and you have these hard from the gun races. I don't know. For me, it's just always been the 15, and I guess as like an under 20, I was much better at 3K. My natural distance is probably like 2 mile on the road. But instead of going up to 5K, I always gravitated to 15 because it just felt like that was like the more legitimised event.
Yeah. I like how we asked you what your favourite track event was, and you managed to bring it around to what you were best at.
Yeah, but
this is textbook Chris.
No, what I'm saying is that's why I'm saying 1500, because I personally thought the 1500 was more credible than the 5K. Right. And look at Ingebrigtsen now, like he's the Olympic champ at 5K, but people still like getting like poking him, going like, but you got beaten the 1500, as if like the 1500 is the blue ribbon event.
What about yourself?
So how do I bring this back around to
what were you good at?
You know what? I'm the opposite end of the spectrum, you guys. I'm the blue ribbon event for me. It's 100 meters.
Well, it brings so much traction to the sport, isn't it? Let's be honest. A lot of the fans outside of the sport, or people who maybe see athletics, the first thing they think of is the 100 meters. That is what brings outsiders to the sport. Definitely. If you're not already in it.
I think, like, you know, when you're younger, like for me, you're always wanting to know who's the quickest kid in the street, who's the quickest kid in the school, who's the quickest kid in the town, and it just. There's something about the 100 meters that is just so pure and raw, and your metric is just flat out speed. There's almost the tactic element of it. There's no tactics in it. No. It's just bang, go, who's got it on the day. And I love the build up to it, the intensity before they're about to go. I'm stood up in the room. I'm like, who's going to win it? I'm weaving about, I'm all over the shop. So for me, I think everyone wants to know who the fastest kid is in school. And, you know, sometimes I want to know who the fastest man or woman is on the planet. And I think that's what I get with the 100
like
meters.
Noah Lyles last year. Like I didn't think he had it, and then he did.
He did.
Yeah.
He got it. He absolutely
Yeah.
got it. We've got some of the best personalities, I think, in the sport as in the 100 meters. Yeah. 100%. 100%.
It's interesting though to get people's opinions on what they think is the best event and why. And obviously yours inspired by, watching it at the Olympics, and Chris because he was good at the event. So
What I was saying, I was saying I was better at another event. I should have said Chundamal after that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was impressive. But so on the note of track events, we've got another big BMC coming up. Chris, why don't you tell us a little bit more about it?
So we've got Jarrow 1500 on the 21st of June. So yeah, all 1500 meters at the minute. The fields are looking good. We are trying to track, like I said, the top local runners. And the next tier down from the BMC Grand Prix in general to, there's a standard to get into there's a match at Loughborough. There's a standard to get into that. But if you're not in, obviously, we'll have you at Jarrow. And I think the first 5 or 6 on the entry sheet so far, and we're still 3 weeks out when we're recording this, are targeting about 3:45. The bonus time for the men's set at 3:47 and 4:25 on the ladies. I think we've got a couple of ladies who are targeting around there, maybe a little bit less realistically, but on the men's side I think we should get a strong sub 350 race in the A race, and then hopefully we can pad them out, so it'll be mixed seeded races, so everybody will get a good race and we'll get lots of pacemakers.
We had a little pre-meet, didn't we, and picked out a few names that we thought would be interesting to discuss here, because obviously there's a range of athletes that are going to run well. But we thought we'd pick out a few of our lead entries, which we've pulled up on the screen for you guys watching now. Do any of you want to lead in with any names that jump out to you? I know we've highlighted them on there. We've highlighted men's, women's and juniors on there. So, Stacey, I feel like you're itching to...
I'll go in. I think Zach Brannan, and again, I feel like I talk about No Shields probably all the time, but Zach Brannan has made such big progress this season. I think he's got big things coming for the rest of it. We're still just starting off. It's fairly early on, but I think he's looking like such a promising athlete as he works up. He's under 17 still. He might have just gone up. I'll have to double check that, but he's certainly not seniors yet, but he's got such a talent and so much more left of his the rest of his career.
Yeah, he had that big breakthrough run at our previous, BMC top flight event. I don't know whether he'll have it all his own way, mind, because we did have a little chat about Charlie Stevenson, the Richmond and Zetland athlete. So he's actually been out in the USA, and he's dropped his 5K time from 15:15 in 2023 down to 14:09 2025, and he's ran 3 1500s this year. And he's dotted around about his PB now is a season's best, which is 350.2. So I feel like he's due a run. From when we're talking about other ends of the spectrum, we've got a speed-based athlete in Zach Brannan. Then we've got Charlie Stevenson, who is very, very strong, running 14:09 for 5,000 meters out in the US. So I think that's going to be a one to watch. That it certainly is going to be a one to watch.
Yeah, I think they're two picks. Like I said, I think there's 5 who I think can go around that 345 to 350 mark. So they're obviously two of the lads there. One to shout out actually is Josh Blevins. I would love to see Josh get right up there and get a big PB. He won the English Schools 1500 a few years ago. He's at Leeds Uni now, so he's a Gateshead Harriers. So there's a few names there. Could be a really interesting one.
Got Adrian Bales in there as well.
Yes, I know this is a thing we were saying. There's loads of athletes we can talk about on this pod, and we have to whittle it down because, like I said, money's too tight to mention. We can't be here all night, can we?
No, we can't.
Logan Beagley as well. He ran last year in the race and ran really well. So it's going to be a really interesting race. Looking forward to it.
And on the girls' side, you've got Katie Francis from Berkeley.
Local girl.
She has done 4:32 for 15, so she's looking like one of the front runners for the race.
She's definitely the quickest on paper. We've also got Freya Brown in there, but Freya Brown has got a bit of a hidden weapon, I would say. She's ran a 2:07.8 for 800.
Yeah, that's great.
And she's second in the UK rankings now. So again, we've got this other different ends of the spectrum. So yes, Katie Francis has a slightly quicker PB, but Freya Brown she's top 25 for an under 17, over 1500 anyway, but she's got that 2:07 speed. That's fantastic for an under 17 to run a 2:07. Like that's crazy quick, that.
Yeah, it is. Last week, is that Scotland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I think so. I nudged for it there straight away, like confidently.
It sounds Scotland.
Oh,
It does sound
so she ran that at Gateshead, didn't she? Yeah, she did.
Yes, yeah.
She actually missed a race, didn't she? And then you had to put her into the next.
I didn't know that.
Put her into the next race.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
And her dad paced as well. So yeah, I think it's going to be a really, really good race. Now I'm seeing that 2:07. I'm just thinking, with it being a mixed race, she's going to potentially have a group of guys around as well. Whereas for the ladies, sometimes they might have set their PBs in like league matches for the club and might have been 10 or 15 seconds ahead.
Yeah.
If they're in this sort of race, they can get pulled around to a much faster time. And yeah, let's hope for some big PBs across the board.
Yeah. Juniors as well. Got to give a quick shout out there to the North Shields Poly contingent that is back again, both Penfolds. Again, I had a look at their rankings, and they're both ranked really, really highly in the UK system for 8 and 1500. And I clocked that Noah Penfold is actually ranked 15th on the all-time list for his, I think it's his 1500.
Right, and I think it's for both of them, it's the first year that they're in the new age group. So they're both really young in that age group. So they're competing against athletes which are much older than, and we know in terms of development at that age, everybody is developing at different years and times. So they've got so much more to give in the next couple of years as they work through those age rankings.
I know. They're in good hands, though.
They are very in good hands with Ma'am, sure.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, Chris, give us another plug for the date of that BMC.
Sweet. Yeah, it is Saturday the 21st of June. We'll have lots of social media content. We're going to get some, we're going to have one of the lads, Jacob, is going to be on the camera cycling around. We're going to have like videography. I'm going to be on the mic. We're not going to have the live stream for that day, unfortunately, because we've got too many people who are on holiday, you two.
Sorry.
So yeah, we basically are a little bit understaffed to do the live stream. So we'll want to do whatever we're doing, want to do it well. So yeah, we're going to get loads of content, make a highlights program to go out afterwards.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's going to be class.
And there's lots of prize money as well, right?
Absolutely. Stacey, hot on my heels there, man.
So yeah, the prize money will be the same as last time. So it's £100 for the win, £100 for the best age graded. So that is using the World Athletics points tables to see who gets the best score according to their relative age. And then the bonus times are based on 3:47 for the men and 4:25 for the women. So that is, if you look on Power of 10, it's the UK Athletics target for want to get 100 athletes under those times. So I didn't just like pluck the numbers out of thin air like I usually do. So yeah, hopefully we get both races. And that, like last year, we had that in the men's, didn't we? Because we had Cameron Allen, who's been smashing it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cameron ran 3:45 last year. You won the women's.
Yeah, I did. That was a great day out.
Yeah, it was good.
It was a lovely sunny day at Jarrow.
It was red hot.
Always
It's a nice track.
Yeah, it is. It's a quick track, you know.
Yeah.
It is a quick track.
Yeah, and I get Jarrow's a great track for it. I know we've had more other meetings at Gateshead, but this could be sadly the last year of world events at Gateshead, which is why we're trying to like pull events in there. So it's the end of the life for the track, and at the moment they haven't confirmed whether they're going to get a new track. So you won't be able to have competitions there after this year. So we're going to have to make a big deal of it at the end of August. And who knows, maybe with a bit of race profile, the stakeholders will find their 600k, whatever it is, for a new track. But we'll see.
Well, I think we've covered a lot there. One thing before we go is, you guys watching at home, we need a favour from you. If you are watching and you're enjoying these shows, we want to keep them going. We want to give back to the running community. That's what we're all about over here at Top Flight. But we need your support as well. So if you are watching this and you enjoy it, please give it a like. If you wouldn't mind giving it a share, that would be even better. And even better than that would be a subscribe on our YouTube channel. So please, You know, we're trying to do our best with this type of thing, this podcast. We're really trying to push it. So any likes, shares, subscribes will be greatly appreciated. We don't ask for much, but what we do ask for is a little like every now and again. So I've been Richard Morrell, and the used to have been fantastic. Some great content from you. Our socials are going to be popping. So until next time, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, cheers, Rich.